Hey guys, and welcome to the Challxin Relaxin podcast with your host, Deanna Robert. That's me. Get ready to dive into the nitty-gritty of the real estate market, especially in South Florida, because hey, I live here and I'm your local realtor, armed with all the insider knowledge. We'll bust myths, reveal truths, and navigate the wild world of Florida living, complete with the infamous Florida man shenanigans. Oh, and expect a healthy dose of opinion and maybe a bit of bullshitting too. Apologies in advance. So let's sit back, relax, and dive into some chit-chat. Like I told you before, I got you guys. That's why I started this podcast, for you. So y'all, make sure you follow, like, and subscribe. Tell a friend. I enjoy interacting with you guys every week, especially in the comments. So, Matt is back to help me navigate through this track. Hey, Matt.
Hello, everybody. Here I am, back again. Guess who's back? Back again.
Shady's back. Tell a friend. Okay, anyways. All right, everybody. Are you ready?
Hey.
All right. We're just going to jump into the market stats. Today, we're sitting with the national median sales price of about $420,000. But here in Southeast Florida, we're sitting around $499,000. Homes are sitting on the market for a little bit over 3 months. That's about 78 days. That's pretty decent. Sellers are getting about 96% of their asking price. So
what type of market are we sitting at here if someone wanted to buy or sell?
Oh, we're still sitting right just a little bit above that little line at a seller's market. And the same goes for our luxury homes as well. They're still in high demand, sitting at an uptick at a seller's market too. Their median sales price is still sitting around $1.3 million. So not much has changed with that. So interest rates, they're fluctuating.
It's a big surprise.
Yeah, they were like at the end of last week around 6.99%, and then they went up to like 7%. So let's see what this week will bring. So Matt, the consumer sentiment fell in May, they're saying, to about 69.1. That's about 10% from April, and that was about 77.2%. So they do this at a university in Michigan. It's called a Michigan Surveys of Consumers. I guess they do some kind of survey or study how we spend, I guess. They're also saying it's due to consumers expecting a modest softening in our labor markets due to the recent frequent news about the layoffs and the strikes that are going on. Have you heard about this lately?
Of course I have.
All right. There is a lot within the last 2 months alone. There's these companies like Tesla, Amazon, Google, TikTok, Snap, Microsoft. They've all laid off some consumers or some workers. So
The foreshadowing
what do you explain that?
of what may be to come in the job market, and it's election time, so they,
Yeah.
it's about the market.
Right. And then at the same time, the U.S. consumer confidence, they say, is up. So I don't know. When I say they, I mean Washington, the federal people,
Yep.
It's they say they're anxious about the inflation, though. I don't know. So in April, our Florida median home sales price rose, while we also had more inventory on the market too, though, Matt.
So that's a good thing.
Yeah. While on the other hand, nationally, our new home sales have declined by 4.7%.
Why would that be?
Well,
Interest rates fluctuated.
yeah, that does have something to do with it too, but saying that buyers are continuing to be deterred by the high mortgage rates and the short supply of housing inventory. So basically, the National Association of Home Builders said that the housing affordability continues to be a problem in this country, But HUD, Matt, they did define cost-burdened families as those who pay more than 30% of their income for housing. So,
It sounds like a lot of America right now.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And then they're saying a severe cost burden is defined as paying more than 50% of household income on housing. What's your thoughts?
I think it's terrible. The affordability factor is going out the roof and people are getting pushed out of their homes. That might, have something to do with why people aren't being able to purchase.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, with all that being said, our key interest rates is now at a 23-year high.
Ooh.
So this has been going on for a while now.
Yeah, I'd say probably 3 to 4 years.
Well, it says 23. We're at a 23-year high.
That's what I'm saying. In the last 3 to 4 years, I'd say that's probably happened.
Yeah. Oh, like tripled in the amount? Yeah. And the feds are trying to get it back to that 2% mark, right?
Yes.
But we're at a 23-year, I don't know. And then the Fed said that it would take even longer than previously thought for inflation to cool enough for them to start bringing it down, And then they said that higher rates might be having a smaller effect on inflation. Okay, that's what they're saying. So Jerome Powell, who's the Fed's chairman, right, said that he still expected inflation to further cool this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
I would hope so. That would be nice.
Yeah. Well, when inflation lingers, the Fed pauses the rates cuts, right? So Fed officials said they give up on July rate cuts, pushing back their forecast for the first of the 2 rate cuts to September.
Isn't it amazing how they give up on July, but July hasn't even came yet?
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep. And remember in one of my last podcasts, I said that it will most likely happen in the 3rd or 4th quarters for this year when they want to start doing it.
That was in the second podcast.
Yep. And they said that we were supposedly going to have 4 cuts this year. And now they're saying we're only going to have 2.
Might be lucky if we get those 2.
Yeah. Welcome to the new normal, like they said in, whatever. I don't know. All right, y'all. Matt, a Wells Fargo study showed that families spend 38% of income on mortgage. Remember earlier we talked about HUD saying a cost burden over 30% of your income. So low-income families, defined by HUD as those earning only 50% of the area's median income, would have to spend 77% of their earnings to pay for the same new house.
That's crazy.
Right. Okay. So, Matt.
It's got to give.
The places that are seeing this cost burden housing is San Diego, San Francisco, and San Clara, California, Honolulu, Hawaii, and San Marcos, Florida. Isn't that on the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where 84% of families' income would have to go on housing, they're saying, at these places.
Jeez.
And the least burdened places to live that you went...
Decatur, Alabama.
Decatur, Alabama. Yes, sir. Yep. Springfield, Illinois. Isn't that where Bart
Simpsons are?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
That's so funny. And then wherever this is, Elmira, New York. Elmira.
I don't know where that is. Probably upstate.
Yeah. All right, Matt. I got some great news for everyone, though.
And what's that?
I got some great strategy trips for y'all.
Trips or tips?
Tips. You're right. I got some great strategy tips for y'all to get the best mortgage rates.
Well, what are they? I need some of that information.
Okay, I got you. Got all of you.
I think we all need that information.
Got you all. All right. Know your credit report and improve it if necessary. Credit Karma is free. You can check everything on there. You can dispute things on there. It'll let you do everything on there. Also, if you do have a bank, your bank should connect you with like the transfusion things too for free. Anyway, take control of your debt to income ratio. It's basically what you owe in relation to how much that you earn. You know what I'm saying? Maintain that. Maintain at least a 2-year consecutive employment history. And finally, shop around for mortgage rates. Hint, hint, a realtor, me, can set you up with different lenders to see what's the best for you, Matt, there's also other ways to beat like high rates.
How would you do that?
Well, an assumable mortgage is one of them.
An assumable mortgage?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Okay. Well, an assumable mortgage is a home loan that can be transferred from a seller to a buyer with the same interest rate, term, and payments. This allows the buyer to avoid getting their own mortgage and take on the seller's remaining debt. Assumable mortgages.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It does, right? Assumable mortgages can be especially attractive when mortgage rates are high, like right now, as the buyer can take advantage of a more favorable rate.
Well, not only that, you can jump in. Do you get credit for the people's previous payments on the house?
Yeah.
You just say they only owe $150,000 less. You only have to pay that off, right?
Right. You take on the seller's remaining debt. So it's whatever they, still owe on the home and whatever their rates are. You might even get a better deal with the rates by doing that. It's more favorable, for a rate if you do that. All right. So Matt, since we're on this topic, I want to touch base on some loans.
Like what?
Well, like a conventional.
What are there?
Well, I'm going to do like a conventional loan.
It's a convention.
It's one of the most popular loans for like home financing. They're loans that are issued by private mortgage lenders that are not backed by the government. They also have a large variety of loan terms and rate options available that often have like low down payment requirements. Borrowers also have the option to avoid mortgage insurance.
What is mortgage insurance?
So mortgage insurance, typically borrowers making a down payment of less than like 20% of the purchase price of the home, they need to pay for mortgage insurance. Mortgage insurance is also it's typically required on Federal Housing Administration loans because it lowers the risk to the lender of making a loan to you. So that way they got backup if you don't pay for it, so you can qualify for a loan that you might not otherwise be able to get, but it increases the cost of your loan too. So if you're required to pay mortgage insurance, it is included in your total monthly payments that you make to your lender, your cost at closing or both or whatever. You guys will discuss that when the time comes.
So if you can't come up with 20%, you have to get that.
Yes, absolutely.
It
basically, it secures your loan to the lender that they're going to be paid, that you're going to pay your loan. And if not, they're backed.
Okay.
They want their money. All right, Matt. There are some contingencies in the Florida FAR bar contracts that are very important to buyers and sellers. So I want to make this very clear for everyone.
You mean like financing contingencies when you were buying or selling?
Yes, absolutely. There's a financing contingency clause on the Florida FAR bar contract for residential and sale lease purchases. Contingencies are a clause in a real estate purchase agreement that allows a buyer to cancel a contract without penalty if they can't secure the financing. It protects the buyer from legal ramifications if the deal doesn't close,
Okay.
Yeah. The first contingency present is whether the buyer will have any protection if they can't secure a loan by the closing. But, Matt, if it's like an all-cash sale transaction, the buyer is committed to bringing all monies due to the closing table. So all-cash sales are a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. If it's an all-cash sale, you have to bring your money. You will have no protection if you aren't able to do so.
So then you wouldn't need any of that mortgage insurance, nothing.
No, you wouldn't have to do because you're paying all cash. Yeah, you have to bring all the monies to the table. So, and then on the second option, it's designed to protect the buyer if, let's say they apply for a loan approval and they can't get it, or an appraisal is like not satisfied on the home and that the lender, the other lender does an appraisal. Not the inspection, but the appraisal. Those are two different things that you must do in order to get a loan from a lender anyways. And yes, it comes out of your pocket. The appraisal and the inspection, An appraisal, it's a walkthrough and it's a general assessment of a home, analyze, with the help of a nearby, like comparable sales. That's when we say, let's run our comps. A lot of realtors have an appraisal, but for some reason, anything that's like government loan, realtors can't do the appraisals. You guys have to pay somebody else to do it. But if it's like an all cash sale, or we can get a broker's opinion on it, and we can do things like that. But whatever, that's neither here nor there. The goal of an appraisal is to determine the fair market value of the property. It's it's conducted by a licensed professional appraiser. While an appraiser will visit a home in person, the majority of the work will be done in their office, because they're going to compare the home's features, locations, and finishes with other comparable homes that recently sold in the area. That's what we do. We run comps. The same thing we do to make sure prices are right for you guys. Mm-hmm. Appraisals are anywhere, I'd say, around $400 to $700, depending on the location in the city you live in and what they charge. It's the size of your home and everything like that.
Well, what's the difference between the both?
Well, on an inspection, it's a deeper dive into the condition of the, like dives in deep, like the plumbing, the AC, the electrical, all that. A licensed home inspector will spend multiple hours doing like such an in-depth review of the home's condition, both visually and by testing it functionally, all the major systems. And after completing the inspection, they'll provide recommendations to you or the buyer or whoever on items in the home that should be repaired or replaced before closing. And those can run anywhere between $250 and $700, like I said, depending on where you live and the size of your home.
So if the inspector says, hey, this needs to be done, that's when you go to the seller and you say, hey, do you want to get this fixed, or do you want to take down some of the costs of the house so I can get it fixed and negotiate? Is that how that works? We can do that. Yeah. Or the seller can fix it himself and get his money. Do they have to fix it if the inspector says it needs to be
Absolutely, fixed? Yeah. If it's an FHA loan or like a government loan, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, they have to. If it's all cash, no. It depends on the buyer, between the buyer and the seller, and what they agree upon. It's up to them. That's when they agree what they want to do. That's between them. So every situation is different. Just depends on what you got going on. There's conventional loans. There's USDA loans. There's 15-year. I don't know. There's so many. I'm not a mortgage lender. I just know there's so many loans. Anyway, but buyers do have to write notice of loan denial if they want to cancel. If you do not let them know, then they will deem that the buyer has gotten the loan from the lender. And then you must communicate everything with the seller. Don't lie, anything. Ethically, just tell the truth. Use your morals, your honesty, and your respect, man. This is your business. This is, tell them everything. Tell what's going on. Communication is the key to all success in anything that you do. Anything,
I agree.
Yeah. All right, guys, if you're liking the podcast, what?
Said it's called integrity.
Absolutely. All right, guys, if you're liking the podcast so far, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend. We can keep communicating. Also, I'm working on the video podcast, y'all. I promise it will be faster than these rates coming down. I promise. All right. Matt, they're saying...
Who's saying?
Oh, the federal government in New York, that June's mortgage rate could be turbulent. And we already are starting to see that.
They're a reliable bunch.
Right.
New York government.
Right. Let's see what they're talking about now. All right. They're saying starting June 12th, which is this Wednesday coming up, is anyone's guess what they will do with the rates.
Why is it June 12th? What's the big deal?
That's when the Federal Reserve Monetary Policy Committee meets to check out the CPI and decide what to do with the rates. Remember the CPI?
The Consumer Price Index.
Absolutely, which means inflation has the ability to move rates all by itself, they're saying. They can take weeks to put out this report. So they're going to meet on June 12th, but it could take weeks for this report to come out, they're saying.
I'd imagine it will.
Yeah, right? And they're also saying, Matt, that our CPI, it has to drop to 3.4% or lower for our rates to drop this month in June.
Oof.
Also, they're saying that the mortgage rates adjust to the investor's outlook on the economy, Matt. How about that? I learn something new every day.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right. So I know real estate is the biggest part of our economy. I just didn't know that investors' outlooks were one of the factors that make our rates fluctuate. So let's see. I want to know what their rates are. I'll keep y'all updated when this comes out, as soon as it comes out. Got you. That's why I started it, for you guys. All right. Okay, Matt. So 3 of Florida's metro area home prices rose 6.6% within the last year. Can you guess what 3 counties and what cities in those counties in Florida were?
I would say Palm Beach County.
Absolutely. Ding, 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 ding. Palm Beach County, 14%, baby. And the cities in that county were West Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and Boynton Beach. No, we're not proud of that. I'm just saying, you hit it on the dot. Ding, 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 ding. No, not ding, ding, ding. That's good. Ding, ding, ding. You hit it on the dot, baby. And then they're saying Miami. And then inside of that county was Miami Beach and Kendall. They rose 11.7%. And then Fort Lauderdale. And inside that county was Pompano and Sunrise. They're at 10.5%. Mm-hmm.
So basically South Florida.
South Florida, yeah. Ridiculous. Also, Matt, Bankrate found that Florida buyers needed to earn at least $114,771 to purchase a median-priced home.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
Absolutely. And they say that new construction can't keep the pace up with the demand for affordable housing. Mm-hmm. So, you know, Matt, the CEO of the National Housing Conference, which is a Washington, D.C. based affordable housing advocacy group, said that affordability is the worst it has been in generations.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sense.
Yep. And he said before the pandemic, the median priced existing homes to purchase required an income of only $54,200.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. And a new home requirement was only $61,700, dude.
That would take us back, please. Do I have to add 88 miles an hour to the future? Let's do it.
Right? Well, now that income threshold stands at how much do you think?
Over 100,000, easy.
Yeah, it's about 110,800. Listen, I just believe in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And sir, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but man, this is draining. It's
it's
crazy.
drained our economy.
Crazy. You know, people are out here starving, homeless, losing jobs, wars getting started. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Anyways, sorry, you guys. I had to do this is adulting real shit, man. So we all need to take some constructive criticism together, man. Just pull it all back together. All right.
Starts with us.
It sure does. All right, Matt, with all that being said, you know, we're still the #1 destination spot. Florida.
Absolutely.
It sure is, you know. And Florida insurance companies, Matt, 9 of them have filed for 2024 rate reductions. That's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And 10 of them won't be increasing rates at all. Nope. Finally, some good news, y'all. Frick, they're not going to raise them, and some are trying to get reductions. That's great, man. I'll give you the good, the bad, the ugly. That's why I'm here. I'm here for you guys. You know, I'm searching. Anyways, Tallahassee, the office of the OIR.
What's the OIR?
Oh, yeah. It's the Office of the Insurer Regulations for Florida. That's who's going to tell us about these companies. Yeah. So let me tell you guys, the 9 companies that filed for the 2024 rate reductions. Safe Harbor Insurance Company.
I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm. Spinnaker Insurance Company.
I don't know.
Yep. Southern Oaks Insurance Company. American National Property and Casualty Corporation Company. Heritage Property Casualty Corporation. U.S. Coastal Property and Casualty Corporation. Florida Peninsula Insurance Corporation. I heard of them. Or company. I'm sorry. I'm saying corporations are companies. Stillwater Property and Casualty Company. American Integrity Insurance Company of Florida. And Matt, you want to know who the 10 insurance companies that filed for a 0% increase for this year?
So the good ones.
Yeah, they're not increasing. The other ones are trying to bring them down. This is the ones that have not increased. Florida Family Home Insurance Company, Florida Farm Rural and General Insurance Company, American Bankers Insurance Company of Florida, Edison Insurance Company. I've heard of them.
Edison and Thomas Edison.
Castle Key Insurance Company, Heritage Property and Casualty Insurance Company, American Integrity Insurance Company of Florida, American Security Insurance Company, and last but not least, American Traditions Insurance Company. So that's good news for us Floridians.
I like their name, American Traditions.
Insurance Company, I like that one too.
Let's bring it back.
Let's bring it back. American Traditions, you're right. Matt, what mistakes do you think that homeowners can avoid with their insurance policies?
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, well, I got you guys. Let's see. Insurance agents say that one of the biggest mistakes is opting for a higher deductible, failing to replace your roof at the end of its life.
Yeah.
Yep. And not covering all of your home's openings, like, the garage doors, like even them pull down garage, the entry doors, windows, you got to get them retrofitted. They have to meet wind mitigation standards, they say.
Yeah, everything's got to be hurricane impacted, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's considered wind mitigation standards?
Well, wind mitigation, it means like installing or having features on your property that help protect it in case of like high winds that are caused by like a hurricane or a storm, So opting for a higher insurance deductible, which are higher than regular deductibles, goal for this deductible is 5% of the dwelling's replacement value, right? Not 2%. Because 2% usually does not cover much after the damage is done.
No.
So a lot of people are doing the 2% instead of the 5%.
Just to keep the payment low?
Yeah. Which they're opting for a higher a hurricane deductible.
Yeah.
So higher deductible means that,
Or out of pocket.
Right. And then it's not going to cover much. So if you choose this option, I hope you have like some emergency funds put away to help with the repairs. Seriously. And then they're saying buying inadequate loss of use coverage. It helps pay for you like to live somewhere else while your house is like inhabitable. Let's say it gets damaged during the storm and you can't live in it, or it's getting repaired and you can't live there.
I think that's important.
Yeah. Yep. And then they say spending too much on personal property coverage. Like, your home, like what's in your home, for spending too much on that. And then failing to buy like law and ordinance coverage.
I've never heard of that. What do you mean by law and ordinance coverage?
Oh, okay. Ordinance or law coverage, it's an endorsement to your policy insurance that like covers the cost of like rebuilding your home up to the current building standards, like after a covered loss. So, this means that if you lose your 1920s craftsman's home to a hurricane, right, you won't have to pay out of pocket to bring it up to the current building code. It also kicks in if there's areas in your home that even though they weren't damaged in the covered loss that need to be like torn down to bring them up to code. No, you don't have the option not to fix it. You have to do it. But according to the Florida Building Code, when repairs and alterations amounting to more than 50% of the value of the existing buildings that are made during like any 12-month period, the building or the structure shall be made to conform to the requirements for the new building or be entirely demolished.
Get a brand new home.
Mm-hmm. And this coverage isn't just for like older homes either.
Nope.
The Florida law requires that the Florida Building Commission to update the building code every 3 years. So building codes can and do change regularly, Matt. In fact, unless your home was built in the last 6 months, it may already be out of compliance. You know what I'm saying? Because we're always changing. Yeah.
A lot of homes are probably out of
Mm-hmm. And last but not least, they're saying that we are failing to review our policies regularly for like potential discounts or things we don't need anymore, or things like that, So if we make updates to our home, we have to get in touch with our insurance agents. We have to let them know, go over things to check out, after you tell them what you've done to replace, you might have new insurance rates, I don't know. Well, Matt, Amendment 5 is placed on our Florida November ballots. It's hopefully going to be more great news for us Floridians, if we all go out there and vote.
What's Amendment 5?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that the marijuana one?
No. No, this is the housing.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later in another episode when it gets closer. All right. It's going to provide an increase in the value of homestead exemptions by adjustments to match inflation. On our, since it's our new normal, as the feds say, it will help anyone who is like having difficulties paying their mortgages, especially seniors and VAs on like fixed monthly incomes.
Well, how's that going to work?
Okay, I'll tell you. Well, first, in Florida properties, they're taxed using a formula that factors in a property's value and the millages rates.
What are millage rates?
Okay, I'll explain it to you. Florida property taxes are implemented using millage rates. A millage rate represents 0.1%, which translates to like $1 in taxes for every $1,000. Okay.
Home value?
Yeah, and home value. So, including like counties and municipalities, school boards, special districts, they can levy these taxes, but that's just whatever. The statewide average property tax rate is approximately like 17 thirds of that's expressed as like mills per thousand. For instance, let me just give you an example. On a house assessed at $300,000, right? The property taxes would be approximately $5,103, right? So how he calculated that was like 300,000 times the millage, which is 17.0133, and that equals $5,103.99. So it's how much the value is of the house for the millage of that city or that municipality or that town, which if you get a hold of a realtor, they can give you the millage information. And I love to inform my clients on this. I even send them how it works, a whole printout, so they can comprehend it and understand it. If they want to go look at something, they can understand how their taxes are based off of, It's really good.
Power.
Yeah, knowledge is power, and each municipality is different. So like, here in Palm Beach Gardens, it might be this. There in Jupiter, it might be that. Here in Boynton, it might be this. Or there in Boca, it might be that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all different. Every person who has the legal or equitable title to a real estate and maintains here on permanent residence of the owner or another legally or naturally dependent upon the owner shall be exempt from taxation whereon except assessments for special benefits as follows. This is what's going to be on the ballot. I got you guys, word for word. Yep, I do. And then it says up to assessed valuation of $25,000 for all levies other than school district levies on the assessed valuation greater than $50,000 and up to $75,000 upon establishment of the right hereto in the manner prescribed by law. The real estate may be held by legal or equitable title by the entireties jointly in common as a condominium or indirectly by a stock ownership or membership representing the owners or members' proprietary interest in a corporation owning a fee or a leasehold initially in excess of 98 years. The exemption shall not apply with respect to any assessment roll until such roll is first determined to be in compliance with the previous of Section 4 provisions of Section 4 by a state agency designated by general law. I mean, and then it goes on and on and on to give you different like assessments, values of what they were trying to do. So they're trying to add more like, see these tax valuation exempt from taxation for which every person who has a legal or equity title to real estate and maintains hereon permanent residency of the owner or another person legally or naturally dependent upon the owner is eligible to, and which applies solely to levies other than school and district levies. That would be added to the Constitution after January 1st, 2025, and shall be adjusted annually on January 1st of each year for inflation using the percent change in the Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, U.S. city average, all items 1967 equal to 100 or successor reports for the preceding calendar year as initially reported by the United States Department of Labor Bureau of Labor Statistics. Ugh. And it goes on and on and on. But that's cool. So this is going to help us, So
it's a good.
Yeah, but it says not more than only one exemption shall be allowed and to any individual or family unit or with respect to any residential unit. So you can only get it one per household.
So you get one get out of jail free card.
Yeah. One get out of jail free card, and it'll help you lower your taxes for the year. So basically, instead of paying this outrageous, say you can't afford $8,000 in taxes, it's going to come down a couple grand,
For that 1 year in particular, or forever?
No, forever. And so, see how when I read it, it said when I was reading, it said as inflation every year. So each year it's going to be adjusted annually on January 1st of each year for inflation using the percent change in the CPI. So they're going to so depending on our CPI,
it'll adjust.
It'll adjust with that. That's great news. I think we all need to get out there and vote on that November ballot and vote yes.
That is, I think I'll be out there for that.
Yeah, me too, definitely. That would be great.
So yes on 5?
Yes on 5. Yes. Y'all, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend. I got all this information for you guys. All right, Matt. The U.S. Supreme Court backed 2 property right cases.
No, finally trying to protect the people, huh?
Yeah. Yes, they are. I'm part of one of the organizations that filed the amicus briefs. What's that word? Amicus. I said it right. Okay. Filed amicus briefs in support of property owners' rights. The National Association of Realtors. Yes. The first suit was Sheets versus Country of El Dorado, Cali. The landowners sued the government after they imposed a $23,000 traffic impact fee study, Matt, when he was trying to get a building permit for an 1,800 square foot for a manufactured home that was on his property.
They tried to tax him the $23K?
Mm-hmm. After he was trying to, an impact fee study, a traffic impact fee study. They tried to charge him $23,000 for it, El Dorado, California. Yep.
California. Commies.
The outcome, the judge said the government cannot demand large development fees from property owners in exchange for building permits.
It's extortion.
Yes. And then there's another one. It's called, what is it? DeViler versus Texas, the state of Texas.
That's all case law.
Yeah. And repairing the I-10 outside of Houston, Texas, Matt, the Texas Department of Transportation built a concrete wall to stop the road from, the roadway from flooding. I guess when it rains, it must have flooded there a lot. As a result, nearby properties, they flooded during the rains, with hurricanes, which left the land. It was like unlivable from them building the wall up there.
Mm-hmm.
And they were inhabitable. The people had to move out of their homes. And Texas law judge said, Texas law provides them with a cause of action for compensation. So, Okay, so here in Florida, Matt, with all the storms and heavy rains, the sun, the salt, the water, what do you think would be considered the best roof for Florida?
I would say some sort of metal.
Well, first, we need to make sure they have these things to withstand the climate for the roof. Like each roof has to, have high wind resistance, durability against the heat and the sun exposure, because there's so much right now. It's like, 110 out there?
Hot today.
It has to have the resistance to moisture and humidity, But you're right. I'll give you the 5 best ones. Number 1 is metal. Metal is the best. And then they say clay tile, concrete tile, slate roofs, and asphalt shingles.
Wow, shingles coming in at 5.
Mm-hmm. Remember, we have building code requirements too, so make sure you check into everything before you make any moves, because, you don't want to do something and then,
It's out of code.
Right. All right. Now we're going to move on to the next. It's time for some Florida Man shenanigans with our Florida Man fun events. All right. Matt, guess what happened?
What? Makes sense. It's Florida.
Well, listen, over there in St. Pete, a Florida man was arrested over Memorial Day weekend after he allegedly bit a bar manager's finger off. He was taken to jail Sunday afternoon. Right? He was with a group of friends when they say he became unruly, and then he was told that he could not bring his dog into the bar, right?
Which bar was that?
Undertow Beach Bar.
Oh.
Yeah, that was according to the affidavit, man. But when the deputies when the deputies said that the man lunged forward and bit the bar manager's finger off. When the manager tried to defend himself, he punched him straight in the face, and the whole group started fighting. The whole bar staff and the group of his friends, a whole big old fight broke out. The deputy said,
Pretty fun.
"Yeah, it was all caught on video, so y'all could probably watch it somewhere, man."
We could find it on YouTube.
I'm sure. They say the bar manager didn't want to file any battery charges, I guess, and the guy who bit him was taken into jail for intoxication.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're saying that a lot of people were arrested on boats for Memorial Day weekend.
There's a surprise.
No surprise, right? Right. And it's also cool. We have the Color Purple musical coming up. It's featuring students from Palm Beach County. Yep. And it's a 2015 Broadway revival. And it's a community production featuring our students from our school. It's based upon the novel Matt, written by Alice Walker and the Warner Brothers. It's an entertainment motion picture, they say.
Yeah, the original was when Oprah was a little kid.
Yeah.
She was in it.
Yeah, they're saying it's a musical that follows the journey of an African-American woman in a rural Georgia that was from early 20th century as she navigates hardships and triumphs. Yep, and they said it was Oprah Winfrey. Oh, they also have the Soul and Seafood Festival coming up in Riviera Beach on August 10th. I want to go there. That's going to be cool. That's kind of my hype. Heck yeah. There's all kinds of craps going on. Let's see what they have going on for some events and activities. They have the Great Seafood, Arts and Crafts are coming up. It has live entertainment, family fun. Oh, the Seafood Gumbo Contest. Yep, I'm hitting that spot. Definitely got to do that. Yep. And you guys, as always, I'm going to leave that right there on that note. And until next time, y'all, coming up on next week's episode, we're going to be chit-chatting about shysting, as always, about the mortgage rates and the housing market stats. We're going to do some buyer representation forms, contracts that are coming in mid-June. Also, where in America are the best places suited for a nuclear war for survival if we have one? I got you.
Underwater.
No, believe it or not.
Build a house underwater.
I got you guys. Next week, where in America are the best places suited for a nuclear war survival? I got you. Florida's HOA flooding disclosure bills that signed into law. That's some more positive news. And the Florida man shenanigans with a touch of South Florida lifestyle and living. I'm here for you guys. I got you. Until next week, y'all, I hope you enjoyed our bullshysting. Like I said, I like y'all's comments, so please keep them coming as we can interact together every week. If you want to keep chillaxing and relaxing together, hit the like, share, and subscribe so we can interact every week.
Press the button.
Keep me here. I want to be with you there. You can also listen to my podcast on these platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, SoundCloud, and my YouTube channel, Deanna Robert Realtor. And if you just want to stay current with my monthly Market Reflector email newsletter, or if you just want your personal home property report and valuation, just visit my website at www.deannarobertrealtor. That's DEANNAROBARE.realtor. It was fun, y'all. Stay safe, and until next week. Bye.
Peace.